Disgraced doctor Nandipha Magudumana will find out today, of course, if she will escape custody. The Bloemfontein Magistrate's Court will make a ruling on her bail application. She's been in prison for 5 months since her arrest in Tanzania, and the court heard her claims that she was forced to leave the country. eNCA senior reporter Silindelo Masikane is watching this for us very closely, but joins me now to give us context, of course, leading up to that expected judgment. Slee, a very warm good morning to you, colleague. I mean, I think we've seen the past days where Nandipha Magudumana has put forward through her defense, her application, her reasons as to why she deserves bail. Today we expect that judgment.
Today we are expecting judgment. Nandipha Magudumana will learn her fate on whether or not she will be walking out of the Bloemfontein Magistrate's Court. Of course, we heard her bail application proceedings over the past 2 weeks here in court, and we heard from the state as well as her lawyers in terms of why she should or shouldn't be granted bail. Now, we are outside of the courtroom. Court proceedings were expected to start just after 9 o'clock. It's about 9:15 now, and we're still waiting. I have seen, though, that her lawyers have arrived. I understand that Magistrate just went down to the holding cells to consult with her. The state prosecutor has also arrived, but you can see to my right that, as per usual, outside of the courtroom, we do have security officials who are manning the entry points into that particular courtroom. As the media, of course, we had to make an application. In fact, on every single appearance here in the Bloemfontein Magistrate's Court, we are expected to make applications. And in fact, to my left, I do see the National Prosecuting Authority, the spokesperson, who has also arrived here in the courtroom. There are mixed reactions in terms of her prospects of success. We don't know if she'll be granted bail, but of course we do know that if she is, there is a possibility that the state could want to appeal. I do want to ask whether the NPA spokesperson could just give us 2 seconds of his time. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Maybe just give us a sense as to how confident the NPA feels that they made a strong case in opposition of bail.
Well, we are confident that the decision of the court is going to be a decision that is in favor of the NPA based on the presentation that was done by the prosecutor before the court. So we are convinced that she is not a right candidate to be released on bail.
Many of the issues canvassed in that bail application, according to her lawyers, were issues of a trial stage. Do you think the NPA did enough to show the court that, from what the arguments look like, that she's a flight risk?
Definitely. Not only that she's a flight risk, because there are a lot of factors that were presented before the court by the prosecutor. So we are trying our best to ensure that she is not released on bail, because we maintain that it would not be in the best interest of justice for her to be released on bail.
As the NPA, are you finalizing the investigations into the actual escape, and could we possibly see more arrests? I know come the 11th of October, we were told that that postponement was for final investigations.
Yes, we'll only get to know on the 11th of September as to how far the investigations are. Remember, the prosecutor made a request for postponement because there were certain issues outstanding pertaining to investigations. So our hope is that on the 11th of September we will have an idea as to whether the investigations are finalized, or if there is anything outstanding, what is outstanding, and how long is it going to take the investigators to finalize whatever that is outstanding pertaining to the investigations.
Can we expect the NPA to appeal if she is granted bail?
Well, let's wait for a decision of the magistrate, then we can only talk after the decision of the magistrate.
All right, that is NPA spokesperson Mr. Paladi Shuping outside the courtroom where we are expecting the judgment of Nandipha's bail application. At this point, we have not seen any activity outside Court Dumelo, but what we of course do know is that her family is possibly expected to make their way here, and that they would be somewhat of a press briefing after court proceedings. They are going to give a short statement. Whether Nandipha will be joining them is something, of course, that still remains to be seen. But from speaking to some of the legal experts throughout this weekend as well as this morning, they've given an indication that it is going to be quite a tough ask, or a tough task rather, for the magistrate to kind of weigh the arguments that were brought before her in terms of why Nandipha should be released or why she shouldn't be released on bail. So we just await now the magistrate to come into court, and we are also expecting the possibility of political parties like Action SA to also be coming to court. And of course the family of Katlego Bereng, remember his body was used as a decoy in this escape. We do know that we will be speaking to them just a little later on to get their reaction following that bail judgment later.
Absolutely, Silindelo Masikane. Can I just also congratulate you on successfully door-stopping the NPA? You almost did not have anyone to speak to there for a moment, colleague, but you managed to get a word out, just to get sentiment as to how they're feeling regarding an expected judgment. Could it go in their favor or not? But you're absolutely right. The sentiment is, also at the heart of this is not forgetting Katlego Bereng, because his remains, his body was used as a decoy in this, and so much coming out saying that, yes, we may speak about, this case and speak about Nandipha Magudumana, whether or not her statement through her lawyers has credibility, her bail application should be, given to her by the judge. But Katlego's family inside that courtroom also waiting with bated breath to hear what the outcome was. We'll leave it there, colleague. We'll come back to you as soon as there are any other developments. Silindelo Masikane, eNCA senior reporter, outside the Magistrate's court for us out in Bloemfontein, expecting, of course, court proceedings to start any moment now. They were meant to begin just after 9, but it seems before 9:30. That's the expected time. And we'll take you live inside court as soon as those proceedings do commence.